And Brandon Marshall, former NFL receiver, played with the Jets, played with the Broncos. He bets around the league a few times, but he is very opinionated, not afraid to share it. And he was on Colin Cowherd's show on Thursday, and the discussion of Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay came up. And specifically, he was asked about, what do you think of the Packers drafting Jordan Love and then drafting A.J. Dillon, really two positions the Packers did not need. They made it to an AFC title game last year. We thought, us NFL fans, us who watched the Packers this year, thought, all right, they could use really another big-time receiver. Devontae Adams is great. Really, outside of him, the wide receiver room really dropped off talent-wise. They may get another receiver, maybe bolster the defense a little bit. They can be pretty good. They'll be right back in the playoff contention next year. Maybe, be Super Bowl contenders. Because I just still think, a lot of us think Aaron Rodgers, maybe not at the peak of his career, still has a lot of talent left, still has a lot of game left, and he still is capable of winning a Super Bowl. But Brandon Marshall already kind of closed the book on Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay and really claimed that the Packers themselves wasted Aaron Rodgers' career. I want you to hear this, and we'll get your thoughts after, but this is this is Brandon Marshall, on Colin Cowherd's show saying the Packers wasted Aaron Rodgers.
Come on, man. They should have won 2 Super Bowls in the last 5 years. To me, Aaron Rodgers is my favorite quarterback in the NFL. But you wasted this guy's career. You got 1 Super Bowl out of Aaron Rodgers? Are you kidding me? It's too late. It's too late.
So as you can see, very strong words there for Brandon Marshall, wasting Aaron Rodgers' career. And too, when I hear that, him say that, and then I think about it, really what it means to waste someone's career. There's a massive difference between actually wasting someone's career and just not winning. What happened with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers, to me, I chalk it up to more not for them just not winning, not getting over the hump, more than wasting Aaron Rodgers' career. I think we all agree, Aaron Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game. Just pure talent-wise. Not winning, not savviness in the game, just pure talent. One of, if not the most talented quarterback to ever play the game. But to me, what this highlights of him winning 1 Super Bowl with the Packers, going to only 1 Super Bowl with the Packers appearance-wise, this just proves how hard it is to win a Super Bowl in the NFL. This also should be used to highlight how incredible the Patriots dynasty for 2 decades was. The Patriots made it look easy winning 6 Super Bowls. I think what happened to Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay is a perfect example on the other side to just really kind of bring you down and say it's super hard to win a Super Bowl. Because not only does it take a transcendent quarterback, a transcendent player at the quarterback position, which the Packers have. They've really had for, almost 3 decades now, going back to Brett Favre. But the question isn't just, or the missing piece for the Packers for winning more Super Bowls isn't that they don't have the quarterback to do so. Because on top of having a quarterback that is able to get you there are 2 other factors that really, for the most part, teams can't control that really have a massive impact one way or another on if you will win a Super Bowl or not. That is luck, and that is health. I'll give you a few examples specifically for the Packers to show you nothing was wasted here with Aaron Rodgers of Green Bay. Luck. I'll give you a luck example. Back in 2015, the NFC title game, you had the Packers in Seattle going against the Seahawks. Seahawks trying to get to their 2nd straight Super Bowl, which obviously they did. They played the Patriots, and as we know what happened. Packers were up 19-7 in that game with just 4 minutes left. Up by 2 scores, 4 minutes left. The Seahawks offense is sputtering. Russell Wilson can't get anything going. 4 minutes left of the game. You think this game's over. Seahawks score a touchdown. Okay, fine. You still have to get an onside kick. One of the most unlikely plays in all of the NFL. You look at percentage-wise, it's especially now with the new rules, it's almost impossible to recover an onside kick. The name Brandon Bostic sounds familiar. It's for one reason. Because that onside kick I just talked about how hard it is to get. That onside kick that is not very successful, the percentage chance of you actually recovering it is very slim. Brandon Bostic had the ball when it was kicked right in his stomach, right in his hands. He dropped it. He lost it. Guess what happened? The Seahawks recovered. From there, they scored a touchdown. Aaron Rodgers, what does he do? Valiantly leads the Packers down the field, kicks a field goal to tie the game, goes to overtime. As we know, Seahawks win the toss, so they get the ball. Russell Wilson, deep bomb to Doug Baldwin, caught it, touchdown, game over. Brandon Bostic catches that ball, a little luck. That has nothing to do with Aaron Rodgers. He catches the ball and just falls to the ground. The Packers are going to the Super Bowl back in 2014, not the Seahawks. Luck is involved. Luck is a real thing. Sometimes it can be the reason why you go to a Super Bowl or not. Because when you have two talented teams, the difference between the two, the thing that makes a difference is very slight. It could be one play, one bounce of the ball. In this case, the bounce of the ball benefited the Seahawks more than it did the Packers. Injuries, like I said, luck is also, not just luck, health is also a major factor. For the most part, the healthiest team at the end of the year wins the Super Bowl. If you have the most talented players that are healthy on your team compared to the other team, you're going to win more times than not. Let's go back to 2017, 2 years after that Seahawks debacle. The Packers were again in the NFC title game. This time they played the Falcons. If you remember that game, the Packers barely had enough players to finish the game. They were so ravaged by injury, Mike McCarthy pulled Aaron Rodgers from the game late in the fourth quarter because he was worried he was going to get severely hurt for next year. You had offensive linemen going down. You had Jordy Nelson barely even able to walk before the game. He's continually banged up, had rib injuries. He was barely being able to play in the playoffs. Again, hanging on by a thread. You had the receivers basically, barely able to just run. So injuries ravaged completely that 2017 NFC title game. The Falcons blow out the Packers, go on to the Super Bowl, and as we know what happened with the Falcons. So not winning more than one Super Bowl, not even going to more than one Super Bowl with one of the most talented quarterbacks on your team in the NFL, doesn't mean a career's been wasted. Doesn't mean it's a direct indictment on the Packers for not doing all the best they possibly could to give Aaron Rodgers the best chance to go to the Super Bowl. Let's not forget, Aaron Rodgers and the Packers have gone to 4 conference championship games. They've had talent on their team. They've been good enough to get right to the edge. They got right to the brink. 3 of those times they weren't able to get over the hump. When I hear wasting a career, when I see someone saying that this team wasted this guy's career, you know what I think of? You know what to me equates to wasting someone's career? Is when you blatantly hurt the team's chances of winning or the player's chances of success by not giving him the proper tools and basically flat out ignoring their needs by saying, "Oh, you're good enough. You can do okay with this." The perfect example of that is this latest draft by the Packers. The Packers desperately needed a second wide receiver to go along with Devontae Adams. They were severely outgassed in the NFC title game against the 49ers. It really wasn't even a game. So they needed help on offense, and more importantly, they needed run help on defense. They needed some legitimate pieces, not many, but some legitimate pieces at certain spots, and I think everyone would have been, okay, the Packers are right back in contention. Packers are right back up there in 2020 when it comes to teams competing for a Super Bowl. Instead, essentially what the Packers did was wave the white flag, signal the end of the Aaron Rodgers era, and already start looking to the future. Drafting Jordan Love, trading up to draft Jordan Love in the first round, and then drafting a running back in the second round when they already have a good running back in Aaron Jones. The 2 positions in offense the Packers did not need, they addressed with their first 2 picks in the NFL draft this year. That is wasting someone's career if that was a pattern throughout Aaron Rodgers' time in Green Bay. If they continually did this year in and year out, looking at the need they have, looking at a free agency filled with receivers, looking at an NFL draft that was lauded with how deep the wide receiver class is, you don't pick one. That is wasting someone's career. But this happened 1 year. If this was a pattern throughout the entire tenure of the Aaron Rodgers era in Green Bay, we'd have a different conversation. Because it's happening now towards the tail end, where now it feels like the Packers are trying to rush Aaron Rodgers out and get on with the future, they're ready to move on. They're not wasting his career. Think about this. Only twice in Aaron Rodgers' time as a starter in Green Bay did the Packers not have either a Pro Bowl skill position player or a 1,000-yard receiver. 2012 and 2015 were the 2 times where the Packers on offense, outside of Aaron Rodgers, didn't have a Pro Bowl skill position, running back, tight end, wide receiver, or a receiver that had a 1,000-yard season. So they've had talent around Aaron Rodgers. They've had good players for him to throw to, good players for him to hand the ball off to. It's not like Aaron Rodgers is just doing this on his own by himself for basically his entire career. So just winning or going to one Super Bowl doesn't equate to or automatically mean that the Packers have wasted his career. Because guess what? You look around the NFL right now. You look at Russell Wilson in Seattle. You look at Drew Brees in New Orleans. You look at Dan Marino when he was with the Dolphins. You look at Peyton Manning specifically with his time with the Colts. If you think Aaron Rodgers' career was wasted in Green Bay, you have to also say that Russell Wilson, Brees, Marino, Manning, all their careers are wasted in their respective cities. Because all of them either have won Super Bowl, like Wilson, Brees, and Manning in specific cities, speaking of just looking at Peyton Manning only in Indianapolis, or none like Dan Marino. But I don't think right now anyone is going to say that the Saints wasted Drew Brees' career. If anything, you can make the argument Russell Wilson's career has been wasted a little bit because for the most part, their offense always kind of hamstrung Russell Wilson. They never really gave him, outside of the last year or two, legitimate weapons to throw to. His offensive line was horrendous. But just because they have one Super Bowl under their belt doesn't mean that they didn't try all their best to actually win. We talk about luck. I'll use Drew Brees as a quick example here before I wrap up. You talk about what I said, needing luck, needing health, outside of just having a very talented quarterback to win a Super Bowl. 2019 NFC title game, you obviously had that missed pass interference call. If the Saints get that call, they probably win and go to the Super Bowl. 2018 NFC divisional round, you have the Minneapolis Miracle, a miracle, literally a miracle. Case Keenum throws it up. Stephon Diggs makes the catch. Defensive back for the Saints misses the tackle. Next thing you know, as we know, Vikings run it in as the clock expires, touchdown, game over. There's a lot of luck. There's a lot of health that goes into winning a Super Bowl, not just having the best quarterback at the position. For the entire career, I felt that the Packers have put Aaron Rodgers and the team in positions to succeed, in positions to be successful. Hence why they went to 4 NFC title games. So just because they haven't been able to get over the hump, just because they haven't been able to even get to one Super Bowl, let alone win more than one Super Bowl, doesn't mean his career's been wasted. It just highlights, it points to the fact that winning a Super Bowl is hard. It's not supposed to be easy. You have guys like Tom Brady, you have guys like Joe Montana, you have guys like Michael Jordan who make it look easy. Yes, we idolize them, we praise them because they continually did it time in and time out, and they were so good at their respective jobs, they made it seem like it's easy. How come Michael Jordan wins a title every year? How come my guy can't do that? Because it's freaking hard. Especially in the NFL, when there's salary cap to worry about, when there's all this roster turnover, when they schedule on purpose to create parity. The NFL doesn't want dynasties forming. So they continue to schedule teams that play well and win the division. They always schedule them against division winners. Winning is hard, man. So if anything, there is, to me, no way the Packers wasted Aaron Rodgers' career. It highlights how hard it is to win a Super Bowl and other factors that go into it outside of just having the transcendent quarterback. So I disagree with Brandon Marshall. I really, outside of this past draft, take that away. There's no defending that, and myself and a lot of other people just crushed the Packers when it came out of the draft that Monday after the draft is over. The Packers have continually put Aaron Rodgers in a position to succeed. They put weapons around him. They haven't tanked the offense. They haven't neglected the offense and not given Rodgers the help he needs.